Alright, gearheads and design aficionados, buckle up because I'm going to take you for an epic journey into the world of livery design. My name is Tiana Semrany. If you don't know me, I am a drifter, I build cars for fun, I am a graphic designer, and I specialize in livery design. So that is exactly what I am going to take you through today. I am going to uncover all of the secrets behind these rolling pieces of art. But before we get into the nitty-gritties, I'm going to answer a burning question that you guys have. What is a livery design? It's not just a coat of paint, it's actually a unique design that can jazz up any vehicle, whether it's through a paint job or through the wizardry of wrapping. These designs aren't just pretty, they are the first impression. They also help us identify motorsport teams, they help people attract sponsors, and they even serve as pretty much rolling billboards for lots of different companies. And trust me, you can actually spot these bad boys absolutely everywhere and anywhere, from trucks and planes to Formula One cars. So you probably want to know how these livery designs get their awesome vibe. Basically, they're cooked up using Adobe Illustrator for the most part. You can also use Photoshop. It does take a little bit more technique, but both of them are appropriate. Oh, and by the way, if you guys are interested in designing liveries, I am thinking about putting out these tutorials as well. So please definitely do give me a subscribe because there is more coming your way. To uncover the origin story of where liveries began, we need to go back right to the beginning. The term livery isn't just a fancy word. It's actually got some historical depth. It's an English word that is actually derived from a French term, and I think they pronounce it livre. I'm not too sure, I don't speak French. And it actually takes us way back to the 12th century, before cars were even a thing. And the term livery wasn't about cars, it was about people. Think about this, a group of servants, dependents, followers or friends, rocking distinct colors or badges or uniform style. It wasn't just a fashion statement, it was a language. It was a way to showcase their ranks and status. Hold on to your hats because this tradition isn't a thing of the past, it still happens today. Still kicking through the United Kingdom, and you guessed it, it's in the monarchy. Take a stroll through the UK and you might just spot coachmen and footmen sporting uniforms adorned with badges, carrying on this age-old tradition. And now that we've cracked the code from where the actual term livery comes from, let's cruise into the world of how these designs kicked off in the automotive scene. From the get-go, livery designs have been a thing since cars were a twinkle in someone's eye. Back in the day, horse-drawn carriages weren't just rolling around the streets looking pretty. They're designed to convey a message, representing nobility or shouting, "Hey, I'm in the trade business." Hold up, it's actually not just about the four-legged horsepower. The military caught on as well, and they turned their vehicles and also their uniforms into visual stories. It wasn't actually just about what you wore, it was a whole language that allowed you to spot your crew in the crowd. Now you gotta take it to the skies though, because the planes got in on some of the action. Ever thought about why Qantas or USPS planes look the way that they do? It's actually not for show. They are definitely trying to convey who they are and what they do in the sky, and we can see that all the way from the ground. But we're not limited. Liveries can be on pretty much anything from trains to taxis to construction gear as well. If it moves, it can basically have a livery design. In today's world, pretty much everything has turned into a moving piece of art. So as we roll on through the wild, crazy history of livery design, it's clear to see that they're just not fancy designs on a car. They have a purpose. And you're probably asking, but where did this motorsport livery design come into play? Well, I'm glad you asked. First, I'm gonna plug in my business because I don't have a sponsor for this video. I am my own sponsor. Guess what? I run a business called Tiana Creative. At Tiana Creative, my passion is basically delivering top-notch, absolutely completely unique livery designs to every single one of my clients. Even if you're not wearing glasses at the track, you'll be able to spot my livery designs. That's how wild they are. If you're a person who drifts, does circuit, or even just runs a business, I can help you stand out. Hit me up. It'll help attract sponsors. It'll help get business. tianacreative.com.au. All right, let's get back to it. So in the early 1900s, car history took a stylish turn with the Bennet Cup. It was like the grand premiere of motorsport liveries, where each car actually showed off their national pride with a colour. Picture this, Belgium rocking yellow, France cruising in cool blue, Germany rocking bold white, and the USA turning heads with their dynamic red. So these colors weren't just for show. They stuck around and became the go-to palette for Grand Prix races in the 1920s. Even if you're not into motorsport, I can almost guarantee that you've heard of the color British Racing Green. Well, that actually was their racing color back in Britain, you guessed it, around the same period of time. But hold on, story does not end there. Over time, naturally, you can see that racing actually got expensive. Sponsees needed help and sponsors wanted more bang for their buck. So in the late 60s, liveries transformed from simple country identifiers to full-blown advertising canvases, and that is all thanks to Team Gunston. They actually made history for this. Now, they were the trendsetters and the trailblazers, the first to slap sponsorship brands onto their Formula One vehicle. So imagine it. The Brabham car, driven by John Love, decked out in the groovy orange, brown, and gold hues of Gunston cigarettes. Probably wondering where it went down. It actually went down at the Grand Prix in South Africa on January 1st, 1968. Talk about that for a new year. Fast forward to the 70s and the FIA decided to basically say, well, we don't need colors to identify nations anymore. It was basically out with the old and in with the new. So this unleashed a whole wave of creativity, as now sponsors actually had more creative ways to advertise their businesses on their drivers' cars. And let's not forget the legends, basically the liveries that etched themselves into the racing history books. From the sleek Marlboro design to the Golf racing vibrancy, the Lotus JPS sophistication, Rothman's distinct style, the pink big Porsche turning heads, the classy Martini look, Mazda's unique vibe, and the timeless Castrol Toyota. What about the evergreen BMW aesthetic as well? I'm sure everybody has seen that. Each of these have been a masterpiece on wheels. But hold on to your racing helmets because the fun does not stop there. Technology has given us a paintbrush with no bounds. Thanks to wrap films, we pretty much have the option of various media such as chromes, reflective finishes, mind-bending color shifts, and a whole array of specialty media. The possibilities are endless, making every livery a canvas for creativity. So what's your favorite? Drop a comment below and let's keep this conversation burning rubber. Over the years, various styles of liveries have actually developed into different classes of motorsport racing. Let's start with Formula One, the epitome of racing elegance and speed. Imagine it as a high-speed fashion show. Mercedes brings the sleek corporate vibes every single year. It embodies the precision and the sophistication. Red Bull Racing, however, on the other hand, explodes with absolute vibrant energy and colors. They create a spectacle that is hard to ignore. Ferrari sticks to tradition, roaring in its iconic red, which is quite strange because I'm pretty sure Ferrari actually started with yellow. Haas decided to go a little bit more minimalist, letting their simplicity speak absolute volumes. And then there's McLaren, the wild card. They tend to keep making special edition liveries that keep us on the edge of our seat every single year. Now let's shift gears to rally cars. These machines are built for the rough terrains, and you've probably noticed that their liveries are actually absolutely wild with colors and bold lines, and that is actually so they can stand out in whatever environment that they're placed in. By the way, we gotta give a special shout out to Ken Block, rest his soul. Guys, his cars were absolute trendsetters for many, many liveries throughout his whole career. There was always stars and drips and just iconic colors involved in every single one of his cars. They were literal artworks. By the way, did you guys catch that pink Porsche that he was rocking? That was actually a livery inspired by the pink pig, which I mentioned earlier in this video. And now that is a style with a story, thanks to the artistic touch of a renowned designer called Trouble Andrews, aka Gucci Ghosters. Ghosters? I don't know how to say his name. But wait, we are not done yet, because I like to save my personal favorite till last. Of course, you guys probably already guessed it. I love drift liveries, so we're gonna touch on that too. Drifting style liveries are where things actually get crazily creative and artistic. Since drifting is all about flair and style, I'm pretty sure you can assume that everybody likes to go wacky and wild with their designs. And they're also known for things like tribal patterns and graffiti inspired art and things that kind of just trigger a vibe of like that pop art culture. I don't know if you guys have heard of Animal Style, but they are actually one of my favorite styled liveries. They're absolutely wild. As you can tell by the name, Animal Style, they kind of incorporate the animal aspect into all of their liveries, and it kind of runs along with their style of driving being so out there. And they're pretty much a symbol of the nature of drifting itself, which is like untamed. That wraps up our thrilling journey through automotive livery design. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Guys, please, like I said earlier, leave a comment below. Tell me your favorite livery design. I would love to hear it. Stay tuned for more awesomeness. And until next time, keep it fast, keep it stylish, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Drive safe and design bold.